Incantations like Dragon's Breath or Spirit of the Earth arise. After his efforts proved fruitless, he lay back down in disappointment. Though he knew the experience hadn't been an illusion, the wounds from his collision with the tree had partially healed themselves. Looking up at the stars, he realized that mastering this power would be his greatest asset in hunting and providing for his family. He smiled, imagining a bright future where he could give Riggy and Dorothy a life of comfort and joy. Moreover, in a remote village without a doctor, his newfound magical healing would be a miracle. He sat up, resolved to investigate this power further, certain that if it had manifested once, it would surely return. As he sat in the quiet, painful memories began to surface. Shortly after the death of his parents, he had also lost his grandfather, the only person who had truly cared for him. Though his grandfather had seemed healthy for his age, he had died in a senseless accident, leaving Juan vulnerable to the cruelty of his remaining relatives. He remembered the funeral vividly, how a relative had burst in and struck him, screaming that he was a curse who had caused the deaths of his father and brother. From that day on, everyone had treated him like a plague bearer, even though he was just a high school student trying to survive. Back in the present, Juan looked at the wolf's carcass with a slight, weary smile, pushing the old ghosts away. He hoisted the heavy beast onto his broad shoulders, knowing he needed to head back before more predators arrived. He knew skinning it would be grueling work, but it was possible. He thought of his grandfather again, remembering the days he spent watching the old man prepare chickens and rabbits on the farm. He looked at the moon, thinking that if his grandfather could see him now, he would be proud. Yet one nagging question remained. How could he learn to control this wild, dormant magic? Inside the cozy warmth of the cabin, Riggy and Dorothy were busy preparing the evening meal. Dorothy ran with boundless energy to bring a bowl to Riggy, her small face alight with expectation. Riggy smiled, taking the bowl and thanking her daughter, which caused Dorothy to beam with a smile as pure as the morning sun. After helping her mother, the little girl skipped happily around the house, playing near the glowing hearth. Suddenly, a strange sound from outside piqued her curiosity, and she stood on her tiptoes to peer through the window. She tilted her head, trying to make out the shapes in the darkness. But when a gigantic wolf suddenly appeared right before her eyes, Dorothy let out a blood-curdling scream. The girl fell backward in terror as Riggy, heart-pounding, called out for her daughter. Without a moment's hesitation, Riggy grabbed her rustic kitchen knife, a meager weapon, but the only thing she had to protect her child. She ran toward the door, screaming for Dorothy to get behind her. When she flung the door open, the scene left her paralyzed and drenched in a cold sweat of fear. There was Juan, kneeling on the ground with the massive carcass of a wolf draped over his shoulders, looking at her with exhaustion written across his face. Thinking the beast was in the middle of attacking him,